Welcome to the weekend preview here for Los Alamitos Racecourse on this weekend of Saturday, August 14th is the card that we're going to take a look at. Pleased to be joined by Christopher Wade. Chris, welcome back to the program. So this weekend, we got the John Deere on Saturday, and then we got the Golden State Derby on Sunday. So it should be a fun weekend of racing here from Los Al.
Yeah, it sure should. Some very competitive races this weekend.
Yeah, 10-race program on Saturday, highlighted by the John Deere Juvenile California Regional Challenge. Field of 10 there, race number 10. But as we look earlier in the card there, what's one horse that you like there earlier in the program?
Well, tonight's closing event in the pick four, early pick four, is the 7 up on the outside, Ms. KO. This is a horse who came off a very long layoff from has had 3 well-spaced starts off that long layoff, came off a 907-day layoff and ran a pretty good fourth in the return off a long effort, take some time off, came back and won as one of our selections that night at a nice price, a little over 10-1. In the last effort, the Independence Day Handicap, this horse had a decent amount of trouble along the way. This horse got fractious, bobbled and drifted out, lost out a length and a quarter, was crossed, but finished better than looked under a hold. And with everything factored in, the trouble, the track variant, this horse's figure was very, very good for tonight's affair. And this a 5-year-old mare adds the blinkers to give her a big look. And one thing that if you look real closely at the racing form, this horse already won at this level. Came off another layoff there on May 23rd and won a non-winners at 3. And this is a non-winners at 3. At the time, she was just a non-winners at 2 eligible. So she's coming right back at a level that she's already won. She exits a troubled affair. She adds the blinkers. She draws the outside. And I think she's got a big, big look here in tonight's 4th event, closing out that early big four.
Yeah, she's going to draw the outside post. I'm showing up the replay on the screen right now. The latest one, an Independence Day Handicap. She was in gate 4 in a field of 7 there. She got away okay, but it was not quick enough. And then she appeared a bit intimidated and actually got bumped a couple of times there. So she never looked comfortable in this race, Chris.
Yeah, she never did. She was in kind of close quarters. She was kind of looking around, and she was a brush midway and then a little bit in close quarters late. But I like the way she finished. They're in the wire under hold and with the gallop out and the blinkers attached and coming back relatively quickly for her. She's been having some well-spaced starts the last 3 times off that long layoff. Coming back in 43 nights, the blinkers on, draws well. I think she's got a big look in tonight's 4th event.
Yeah, and then she gets to reunited with Jonathan Roman, who was aboard for that win off the layoff back on May 23rd. And drawing the outside post is probably a much better spot than where she was in gate number 4. Thanks for that selection, Chris. Are you going to be doing any other tracks on your simulcast handicapping in the Nightlands this weekend? Yeah,
we have Albuquerque. We got races 4 through 9 on Saturday evening, and take a look at losalamitos.com and check out our selections or the back of the program in the Nightline program this weekend. We're gonna have some prices along the lines for you.
Let's see if we can get some winners this weekend. Chris, thanks for joining the program. Looking forward to this weekend. Again, you can catch Chris's selections for all of the Los Alamitos races there, race by race in the paddock via the Los Alamitos live video show. All right, Chris, thank you and have a good evening.
You too, boss.
Racing fans, the traditional $2 pick 6 at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. On Sunday, August 1st, a one-night carryover of $14,000 led to an outstanding total pool of over $132,000. And the payouts are tremendous, highlighted by a season-high payout of over $94,000 on May 21st. And remember, on Sunday nights when there's not a carryover, Los Alamitos will add $10,000 to the pick 6 pool. Talk about some good old-fashioned pick 6 excitement at Los Alamitos. The traditional $2 pick 6, a great bet, a great deal. It's happening at Los Alamitos.
Welcome back to the program. First of all, welcome back. Good to see you, Michael. And I gotta say, this view, I like this view. I'm assuming you're up in the booth, right?
Yeah, g'day, Jose. Checking in from the announcers booth at Los Alamitos for this segment of this week's webcast.
Yeah, it's looking like a fun weekend because we got on Saturday. We're gonna focus on Saturday's card, which is the John Deere Juvenile in race number 10, and also we feature the Golden State Derby on Sunday. But our focus will be on Saturday, Michael, and I believe you specifically want to look at a horse on the featured event on Saturday night. That is correct?
Yeah, it might be crazy because they took the 10 fastest qualifiers to this final, and the horse I'm interested in, Jose, was the 10th fastest qualifier, scraping into the field by the skin of his teeth, and I don't know whether it's the right move or not. I've just got this idea that number 10 is a potential improver. Scoops Dynasty for Monte Rosa. He He's having his third career start, and he was in all sorts of trouble in the trial. And he caught my eye in finishing fourth, particularly like the gallop out. Let's take a look at this replay. He had gate 2, and he's in all sorts of bother in the early stages. You'll see him almost lunge in the air out of the gate, and then he veers inwards very sharply. He's to the inside of the number 1 horse for the duration of the event. And he was beaten several lengths, it must be said. But, gee, I liked the gallop out. If we can keep this replay going, he finishes fourth right over on against the rail. And it was a really eye-catching piece of work from him, continuing through the clubhouse turn. I think there's a lot of license to improve, and Monte Rosa has been known to pull this sort of thing off before in feature races. He can get them to peak at decent odds. And you only have to go back as recently as the kindergarten with Fire Fast Honey, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, in his first start, he also had trouble, and he finished behind Freight Train Cartel, beaten a length and a half. But that was his career debut. Freight Train Cartel was having his second career start. By the way, Freight Train Cartel's fourth in the other trial to this final was super. He did a great job to get as close as he did from the outside post. He veered very wide early, and he was closing in strongly. He's going to be a handful for the rest of the field, no doubt. And that's not to mention the full siblings. So it's going to be a great race, but I just think that number 10 might be the value.
Yeah, number 10, Scoops Dynasty there on the outside. I thought it was impressive as well in the replay, Michael, that, horses, when they get stuck on the inside like that, like he did, they don't usually tend to show a lot of fight. I like the way he finished up in the second half of the race, and of course his gallop out as well. So Scoops Dynasty might enjoy switching to the outside post there this Saturday night.
Yeah, both of his starts so far have been from gate 2. Let's see what he can do with some room to move down the outside. He might be able to at least get into the placings and spice up the exotics for you.
You kind of already spilled the beans on a runner that I like in Freight Train Cartel. I'll talk more about that horse later on in my segment with Professor G. In the meantime, thanks, Michael, for joining us. I like the view and looking forward to hearing your calls this weekend here at Los Al.
It's going to be another great weekend of racing. I can't wait. Thanks, Jose.
Have a good day, Michael.
Hoorah.
Night racing's best bets are at Los Alamitos Racecourse with the biggest pools of the entire season. Check out these numbers in the Los Alamitos Early Pick 4. On July 18th, the pool was over $207,000. On July 25th, it was over $188,000. And the late Pick 4 pools are tremendous with over $168,000 on July 31st and more than $152,000 on July 25th. Plus, don't forget about our $10,000 Pick 6 promo on eligible Sundays as the total pool continues to rise each time. Night racing's best bets, Saturday and Sunday nights. Play them all at Los Alamitos.
Welcome back to the program. It is the weekend of August 14th. Professor G, Orlando Gutierrez, our Director of Marketing and Publicity here at Los Al. Looking good there from the Vessels Club patio, Orlando. A field of 10, the 10 fastest qualifiers from the John Deere. Looks like a very good kind of field.
An excellent field, I believe, Jose. And Jose Flores got a really nice trio of runners. He's got a really promising pair of half-brothers in Dasha Dynasty and Dasha Good Reason. They each split the trials a couple of weeks ago. Dasha Dynasty was the fastest qualifier and looked really strong in the second half of that race. And Dasha Good Reason won the other trial and super powerful late, right? Was a little bit behind early on, just comes on really strong at the end and gets it done. And the family of these horses out of Dasha Frida, she's the same mare that has produced He's a Dasha Fire, I'm a Fearless Hero, and so many other outstanding runners. She even has a horse that qualified to the Edberg Million Futurity earlier this year. So just a terrific mare. And her two babies in this race, Dasha Dynasty and Dasha Good Reason, they're going to be very tough in this race.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to see the breeding lines and the progression of these runners that they're both out of Dasha Frida. One of them, Dasha Dynasty, is by FDD Dynasty, and Dasha Good Reason is by Good Reason. But they're both bred by S Quarter K out of the same mare, makes them siblings to He's Dasha Fire and I'm a Fearless Hero. And the same partnership owns them. So this has got to be a fun way to make it into the final with a couple of siblings, and they're both owned by the same partnership. And you gotta, even though Dasha Dynasty, came in with the time of 1784, Orlando, Dasha Good Reason has done nothing wrong. It's a perfect resume, 3 for 3 up to this point. And I believe you talked to Jose Flores. So why don't we catch up with Jose Flores here with that interview, and then we'll come right back.
We have the John Deere Juvenile California Regional Challenge here on Saturday night. And you have a couple of really tough horses. They both won their respective trials a few weeks ago. Let's start with Dasha Dynasty, the fastest qualifier, and also had trouble leaving the gate.
Yeah, he didn't leave very well. We've been having trouble for him leaving the gate a little bit better than every time. He's been trying to leave a little bit better, but still hasn't got to that point where he really leaves running out of there. So we're hoping that maybe this time he'll turn it around and just have a better start than he has in the past.
And that's a good reason, undefeated 3 for 3, perfect 3 for 3, and really looked good in the later stages of his trial.
Yeah, he's a horse that like I said before, that he needs about 400 yards, but I think if he has a decent start, he'll be real tough right there, in the last stride.
So there was Orlando, Jose Flores. I think he kind of focused that both of his runners really tend to finish really well. I think it's really going to come down to the break with these runners.
And the one thing that he kind of noted on each one, Dasha Dynasty, the experience of having that racing knowledge is going to just help him a lot, and he's going to need it starting from post number 1. And he does have the ability to break quickly, just needs to stay out of trouble. And that's a good reason, like he said, has not done nothing wrong at the end, but also a horse that can improve early on, Jose.
Yeah, so looking forward to these runners. And why don't we take a look at that July 24th trial? I'm going to show it because That's a Good Reason is the one that won that trial. But the horse that I like is also in that trial. Here's a replay. Freight Train Cartel had the outside post, Orlando. And after this kind of start, because he was the betting favorite. Mm-hmm. We didn't know what he was going to do from the outside post. That was the first time that he drove the outside post. But he's going to hop and veer out multiple paths. You can't see him on the screen right now. I thought he was out of the race, for sure. Can't make an impact, can't do anything. And here he comes out of nowhere. He makes all these big strides. And when you factor in that he was gaining ground on these terrific runners, and only got beat by 3/4 of a length, I was thoroughly impressed by that effort there by Freight Train Cartel.
Definitely. He was 9th at the start, Jose. Ends up running 4th, and he was wide out, like you mentioned, and comes on just flying very strong. And Freight Train B is a horse that has an All-American Futurity winner in his resume. So, these horses can go the extra distance, can fire late, and he does that here, Freight Train Cartel in this race.
Yeah, and that was Dasha Good Reason and gate number 4 there, getting the win in that trial. So I actually like that Freight Train Cartel, kind of, because I was a little bit skeptical about that big maiden diploma in 1557. I think with that effort, despite trouble, he kind of showed up that maiden diploma was no fluke. So I like where he's drawn in between horses. I like that he's drawn on the outside of the Blue Mallard, who hasn't shown, a consistent gate speed. That might allow Freight Train Cartel to get out to a good start there from gate number 7.
And it's kind of good to note that the winner of this race, Jose, is going to earn a berth to the Bank of America Challenge Championships in Albuquerque. And that's coming up really quick in the fall. And some top runners will be in action. A good follow for everything that's happening in the Bank of America series is Ed Berger. He does a great blog about all the races that are happening in the series on the national scene, and that's always available on these big weekends when there's a lot of challenge races coming up. We are going to be simulcasting races from Albuquerque on Saturday, and that will include some challenge races as well. Again, if you want to see who Ed Berger likes in these challenge races, check out his blog either on aqha.com, and we'll also post it on our website, losalamitos.com.
Yeah, they had to put him to work, Orlando. I mean, come on. IDB, they had to put him to work. Check out Orlando, Ed Berger's blog there, aqharacing.com. You can catch up on all the regionals. So the regionals go state by, different states, different racetracks, and they all get invitations, bursts into the finals there, which will be held at Albuquerque. So that's a quick look there at the John Deere Juvenile Challenge. Jose Flores with a couple of runners there, half brothers going in gate 1 and 4. I like the 7 Freight Train Cartel. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll catch up more with Saturday racing here from Los Al. You got some pretty cool video there from the mornings. It appears close to the gate, up close to the action, Orlando.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to watch the gate works on Saturday from Schwannies, which, by the way, it's a great place to watch the morning works. The horses exercising each morning, catching the gate action there when the horses are qualifying on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Have some breakfast at Schwannies. Just a great place to enjoy a nice morning here at Los Alamitos Racecourse.
Horses, racetrack, breakfast, sounds like a winning deal. And you get to run into maybe some of those human connections that are in the sport with the jockeys and trainers and owners there. So cool video there from Professor G in the mornings by the gate for the workouts. Race number 9, Orlando, is going to be an allowance event, and they're going to go a distance of 300 yards in that allowance. I do have the past performances here to show the betting public. There was a horse that I thought lost all chance at the start that you kind of gave a look to as well.
Yeah, we both agree on number 5, Reinas y Coronas, horse that simply lost all chance to contend on that July 17th race. Just a really poor start, just never had any chance to challenge up the ladder. Corona Cartel and some of the others in that race. If you see the comment right there by our Equibase trackman, George Duarte, scrambled and then bumped at the start, kind of broke in and bumped with the inside horse there, and just never had a chance from there.
Reinas y Coronas, once upon a time, Orlando, was just 2-1 against the likes of Chisholm in that futurity trial back on May 30th. She has not been able to put up a good start here since then, but she pretty much lost all chance after this gate start from gate number 2.
Yeah, Jose, you'll see her kind of slip a little bit there, bobble, get bumped. The jockey kind of has to do some work early on. And from here on, just trying to keep her out of trouble from this point on. She's going to finish last in this pretty good group. Think with a better start, definitely be in the mix.
Yeah, I do think Reinas y Coronas has a much better opportunity versus this field. And this is a field that has not shown a good amount of consistent gate speed, Orlando. I think that might allow Reinas y Coronas to maybe gain a little bit of an upper hand based on what she had done before, including winning her debut with a good start. She is facing the likes of Valfrida in gate 7, who once upon a time was the fastest qualifier to the kindergarten earlier this season. But she also got into trouble last time out. So Reinas y Coronas, we both think can run a much improved effort. That is race number 9. Speaking of allowances, Orlando, you were able to catch up with someone else, right? Someone else that has a contender earlier tonight.
Yeah, and race number 4, that's another allowance race at 300 yards. Pretty solid competition here for fillies and mares. Miss KO, who ran in the Independence Day handicap against some male horses in this race, but I caught up with trainer Angela Aquino, who has number 5, Thin Lizzy, in this race number 4, and she is hoping that the shorter 300-yard distance here helps her runner get a piece of the pie here in race number 4. And we're here with trainer Angela Aquino. Angela, let's talk a little bit about Thin Lizzy. Of course, that won at 300 yards and has run some really nice efforts, then went to 330 yards. A little bit tougher at 330, but now back at 300 yards in a nice allowance race. How do you think she'll do?
I think she'll do really well as long as she just behaves her manners in the gates. She's a very testy filly, so she'll sometimes rear up and act kind of bad sometimes. But Diego Herrera's been working really, really hard with her, and he knows her, and she can intimidate a lot of riders. So he's just really gets along with her and kind of knows that she just kind of tests you. So as long as she minds her manners in the gates and she gets a sharp break, I think at 300 yards she'll be pretty tough.
And of course, Los Alamitos top bet, best bet in racing, the early pick 4. You have a couple of runners in there, so let's talk a little bit about them. Hoss Cartwright coming off of a nice victory with Wayne Barnett, now back in this one.
Yeah, so I was trying to get him in a few other places, and I couldn't really, the races weren't filling, so I just went ahead and gone with this open 25. It looks like it'll fit him really well because he's got kind of some weird conditions on him, so we're just going wide open, and Wayne rode him really good last time. Like I said, he's another horse that'll kind of test the riders, so Wayne fit him really well, and Anthony Knotlock had a nice winner on him before, so I think he'll fit the horse really well.
And Mystic Gray also in that race.
Yeah, Mystic Gray. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get Diego on him because he is riding at Del Mar and wouldn't make it in time. So I was lucky to get Edgar Paredes. So I think he'll fit that horse really well. So I think it's just whoever gets the best break and goes on with it.
Yeah, Edgar winning everything.
Yeah, he's winning everything. So I don't even know how I was lucky enough to get him, but we'll take it.
Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
That was Angela Aquino, Orlando. Then Lizzie, like you mentioned, I think she kind of looking to the cutback and distance back to 300 yards, which is the distance of her most recent win in 1584 back on May 28th. And Diego Herrera was aboard for that night, so that's got to be a positive here. So she's got Thin Lizzy, and she's hoping for a better start. And she's drawn in between Apolitical J1, who broke well last time out, but just fortunate in gate 6, has not shown a good amount of gate speed in the last few starts. Slow, came out, hopped off slow. That might allow Thin Lizzy for a much cleaner start.
Yeah, and the key for Thin Lizzy, like Angie said, is just to mind her manners in the gate. Diego Herrera knows her well now, has worked pretty hard to kind of settle her down in the gate and see if she's able to just pop out of there and maybe make some noise against a pretty solid field here. Just Beautiful Fire, a horse is coming off of an allowance win. That's the number 1 horse. And number 3, Quiet Talks as well, another horse that has shown a lot of potential, a lot of talent over many of her races. Mm-hmm. So all in all, a pretty solid field here in race number 4, another one of our allowance races here on Saturday night.
That is the closeout leg of the early Big Four. Angie Aquino also has a few runners in the thoroughbred portion of the program, most notably Haas Cartwright got the win with Wayne Barnett. Wayne Barnett has the mount back, Haas Cartwright in gate 6, and then you have the 2-horse Mystic Gray, also by Angie Aquino. You get the likes of Edgar Pierce. You mentioned Diego Herrera is going to be riding at Del Mar earlier that day and was not going to be able to make the trip. But anytime you can pick up Edgar Pierce, who's winning everything, Orlando, you'll take your chances.
Yeah, I got some stats here on Edgar Pierres. Since June the 1st, Jose, he's won 26 out of his 78 mounts aboard all breeds here at Los Alamitos, 32.9%. That's his win ratio here for Edgar Pierres. In the money, he is almost 75% in the money since June 1st.
Wow. I mean, 70-something% in the money since June 1st? Wow. I mean, you can't get anything better than that. Edgar Pierres is on fire. Every time you kind of look up at the top where you're like, did Edgar Pierres write that winner? And there it is, Edgar Pierres with another winner. So nice job to Edgar. He's picks up the mount on the 2, Mystic Gray. And then Angie also sends out Haas Cartwright, who's looking to have a similar performance as last time, where he led every step of the way into a 51-4 win. So open 25 claimers should be a competitive race there to kick off the early Pick 4. Let's take another quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up here the preview for this Saturday night at Los Al.
Now at Los Alamitos, it's weekends full of thrilling action.
Racing!
With live quarter horse and thoroughbred racing every Saturday and Sunday nights. More races on our weekend night, plus strong fields in our early and late Pick 4s. And we're still adding $10,000 into our Pick 6 pool when there's not a carryover going into the Sunday card. It's a great deal in our traditional Pick 6. Don't miss a second of the thrilling action at Los Alamitos.
Racing!
Every Saturday and Sunday nights.
Welcome back to the program. Orlando, the other night as I was walking into the Grandstand Los Alamitos for the racetrack races, I ran into none other than Miss Celina Molina, and I noticed you got to chat with her. Anything you can spill for us about your conversation with Miss Celina Molina?
Well, Jose, if you turn back the clock 25 years, almost to the date here, one of the top 2-year-olds, quarter horse 2-year-olds in the nation was a runner by the name of Corona Cartel. He was about to run in the trials to the All-American Futurity. He just won the kindergarten Futurity here at Los Alamitos, and he would go on to win the Los Alamitos Million Futurity. Had a chance to spend some time with Celina, talk about the great Corona Cartel, certainly one of the all-time great quarter horse sires at Los Alamitos, plus something, a new thing that she's working with, something really cool that she's doing for a really great cause. And she shared some information about what she's been up to with this great cause.
Let's catch up with Miss Celina Molina here at the racetrack at Los Al.
Hi, my name is Celina Molina. I've been a quarter horse owner for over 25 years, and I absolutely love the sport because they're amazing creatures. They're magical, kind, smart, and they changed my life. I purchased Corona Cartel at the Vessel Swannabout sale, and I came across the page, and I still have it to this day. I came across his page, and I fell in love with him. It was his eyes, it was his demeanor, it was just everything about him, and he changed my life. In 1996, I was fortunate, my family and I, to have won the Los Alamitos Million. So I'm a lucky girl. I'm very blessed, and I am so grateful for it. When I retired Corona Cartel, I decided to choose Lazy E Ranch as his new home, and from there he made history and he became a great sire. He's actually made, his offspring have made over 66 million in earnings, and it's a blessing again, like I said. At the moment, I'm involved with charity work, and I'm currently working with an orphanage in Tijuana, Mexico. It's Casa Hogar Maria Inmaculada, and I absolutely love these children, and they are amazing and changed my life. So what I did was I created a t-shirt of Corona and I, and it's only a limited quantity amount that I made to raise money for these orphans, and any of your help would be greatly appreciated. As a gift to you, we decided to sign autograph Corona Cartel's Los Alamitos Million winners picture. So Eddie Garcia, thank you, Jaime Gomez, thank you, and myself signed it as a gift to you if you purchase a t-shirt here at Los Al.
She's working with something that's very near and dear to her heart there with the orphanage in Tijuana, Mexico, by the name of Casa Hogar Maria Inmaculada. So about this, for the fans that want to help out and they want to acquire these t-shirts and these photos, what's the best way to do so and to help out?
Well, if you're on track, the shirts are available in the gift shop now at Los Alamitos for $25. And when you purchase a t-shirt, you get an autographed photo of Corona Cartel winning the Los Alamitos Million Futurity, that great race from 1996. And also, if you are interested in purchasing a t-shirt, send us an email or connect us through our social media networks, and we'll get you connected with our gift shop and make sure that you get one of those really great t-shirts, and of course, that autographed photo of Corona Cartel's memorable win in the 1996 Los Alamitos Million Futurity. You got the signature of Jaime Gomez, the winning trainer, the winning jockey, Eddie Garcia, and of course, the owner, Celina Molina, also on that great photo of Corona Cartel.
Yeah, and Jaime Gomez still prominent in the game. Eddie Garcia, he's still, I believe he's riding Saturday. Yeah, he's riding unavailable in the John Deere. Right. And Miss Celina Molina still involved in the business with plenty of in the ownership and the breeder side as well. So, what a turn of events, right? From buying that Corona Cartel at the 1995 Vessel Swannabout sale there as a yearling, to being one of the most influential sires in the sport of quarter horse racing. What an absolute ride.
Second all-time quarter horse sire in money earned. Just a tremendous star. So many great runners that we've seen here at Los Alamitos perform, sire by the great Corona Cartel.
Thanks, Solano. So that's a great way for the fans to catch up and help the cause there with Miss Celina Molina. Other than that, looking forward to the final of the John Deere Juvenile. Like you mentioned, the winner earns an invitation to represent California at the AQHA Challenge Championship later in the year in Albuquerque. A quick refresher for the betting fans. What time is our races this weekend?
Saturday night, 10 races on tap. 7:10 p.m. is our first post. As always, grandstand admission is only $3. Vessels Club admission is $10. And we do offer free general parking here at Los Alamitos. And don't forget, on Sunday, we also have the running of the Grade 2 Golden State Derby, and Jose Flores as the fastest qualifier in that race. Reason to Fly MV. He's been very busy. We've been talking to Jose quite a bit recently. He's been on a nice streak of top runners here at Los Alamitos. So don't forget the John Deere Juvenile California Challenge on Saturday, and of course the Golden State Derby here on Sunday night.
All right, Orlando, thanks for everything. Looking forward to this weekend of action, when we'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks so much, Jose. We'll see you this weekend.